Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's lecture we will discuss about early binding and late binding, and also the use of virtual functions in C++. Okay, so I'll take the same example as I have been using this example for previous lectures. So in test 1 class we have a function called increment, and in test2 class, which is inheriting this method or overriding this method, uh, uh, and let's see the logic. It's, it is adding 1 in x, and it will be adding 2 in x. Okay, the message in both the methods are different. Okay, the messages in both the methods are different, and if we use object of test1 class and call this, then this will be called. If we use the object of test2 and call this, then this will be called. Nothing is magic here. Okay, it is very simple. Okay, but what if I want to use object of test1 to access this method? Okay, to do so, what I need to do, I'll create a reference of test1 class. Okay, let's say I have a test1 object one, and I need to create a pointer for that. Okay, let me do that. Pointer, and I'll create a test2 class and the object, simple object. Okay, so what I'll do, so as you can see, p is what type of pointer? Test1 type of pointer. It means p will hold the address of test1 type of object. Okay, so we can easily say that if you know p can hold the address of object 1. There is nothing magical about this. This is saying pointer p is a test1 type pointer which can hold the address of object of test1 class. Okay, so if I simply call, if I want to call this method, then what to do? Simply uh, cout p, and you have to use this arrow to access the method. Okay, this is just one method. You have to pass, let's say, 2 and line, and let me execute it. So according to this logic, this is having the address of object 1 means test1 class, and by using p we are using increment and passing 2. So this method will be called, and it will print parent int function, and value would be 3, right? So let me execute it and see the output. Okay, so it is saying there is an error. So let me explore. Okay, maybe the spelling mistake. Okay, yeah, we execute it. Yes, it is parent int function and 3. So it is very simple. It is just the interpretation of pointer. So this pointer is of test1 type, and what it means? It means p1 p can hold the address of test1 object, which is what we have written over here, right? But what will happen if I change it to 2? Okay, so in that case, what we are saying we are creating a pointer of test1 class, and by using that we are we are storing the address of test2 class, which is possible. Okay, so the base class pointer can refer, or can access the child or the descendant functions. Okay, this is possible by using your base class reference. So by using base class reference, I think I have written something over here. By using base class object can refer to child class or its descendant data and functions. Okay, So uh, if we want to do that, so according to that, if it is holding address of test2 and we will call increment by using this pointer, then this should call this function, right? As p is pointing to test2. Okay, although p is of which type, test1 type, but it is holding the address of test2. Okay, so if I call this method using this pointer passing any integer value, then this should be called, right? Let me execute it. Okay, to see the output. Oh, the output is again same. It is calling parent int function, not the child one. So it is not calling this one. Okay, and this is still calling the base class function. But as I have mentioned, this base class object, okay, can refer to child class or its descendant data. Even if you are extending test2 by, let's say, test3 class, this base class object can also refer to or can be used as to access the data or the functions of these child or descendant classes. But what is the problem? As we are not able to access the child method over here, it is still printing the parent, or it is still executing the parent method. It is happening because of the C++ is providing the early binding. Okay, so let me explore that concept. There is a concept in C++ which is called early binding or late binding. So this is happening due to the early binding. So what is early binding? Early binding is a compile time binding. Okay, let's say, as you can see, this statement address of object 2, this particular statement will be executed at runtime only. Okay, all these pointers are resolved at runtime, not compile time. It means the address, the object 2 or the address of object 2 will be stored in p only after the execution or during the execution of this program, not before that. But during the compilation, if you bind p1, let's understand p is actually test1 type. The type of p is test1, but we are, the content inside p is of test2. Okay, but this will be assigned during only the runtime. But the type of p as decided or compiler can easily understand during the compilation time or the early time. This is called the early binding. So compiler would do the early binding, means the compiler would say, okay, I don't know what the content inside this which will be decided during the runtime, but I know the type of p. So if I know the type of p, then I can bind its functions. Okay, if you are calling p and accessing its function, then I will not bind it with the content because compiler wouldn't understand this thing. Okay, at the compilation level, this thing is not resolved. During the execution only, the value of p will be resolved. Okay, so the compiler would say, okay, I don't know, I know the content, oh sorry, I know the type of p, so I will bind the this method with this pointer. Okay, so if I execute it, then still, then also it is printing the same parent method. Okay, and it is executing the parent method. So if I want, so this is because of early binding. So let's say, if we can do, what we can do is we can say to the compiler that, okay, when you encounter increment method, you should skip it, you don't need to early bind it. So to do so, what we are saying to the compiler, you simply bind it late or dynamic binding. You do the dynamic binding. So this value will be resolved to p, and p will execute, p will bind this method with this call. Okay, so if we can bind it late or if we can bind it dynamically, then it is possible to execute this method by using p pointer. Okay, even though this pointer is of test one class. I hope this is clear. So how can we make sure that increment can be bind late, or we can the compiler can say, okay, let's not bind it early. Let the let the runtime unit decide what to bind it with. Okay, so do so what we will say, what we need to do, simply we need to type virtual before any function you want to make that function to be bind during the runtime or dynamically. Okay, so this function will not be bind as a early bind or a binding or a compile time binding. So by doing so, what you are making sure that, okay, if this function will be called during the compilation time, it will say, okay, I'm not binding it, I'm not fixing it with its call. Okay, if this is the virtual function, then this is also a virtual function because we are overriding it, right? So this will, even if you write it or don't write it, this will also be considered as a virtual function. So the compiler would not bind it during the compilation time. So at the runtime, it will, this statement will be resolved, and this will hold the address of object 2 class, even though this is of test 1 type object, right? So it will point to this function. Okay, so if I simply execute it after writing virtual over here, this should print this function of or the child class function. Okay, let me execute it. Okay, so it is printing child int function, it is returning 4 because it is adding 2 over here and we are passing 2 over here. So I hope this is clear. So when we want to make sure that we want to bind data at dynamic time or at runtime, okay, then we should use the base function as a virtual function. We don't want to bind it early binding. Okay, that is, so we don't want the early binding, that is the concept. Okay, so this is what we have covered so in today's lecture we have covered early binding and what is late binding or dynamic binding. Okay, and how to access your child class functions using the base class reference. That is what we have done, right? And the last thing we have also covered, how to use or what is the use of virtual functions. This is actually a virtual function, not the virtual class. We have also used the virtual keyword during the multiple inheritance diamond problem, if you remember. Okay, before inheriting we have used virtual class, right? So this is different, this is a function. That one was virtual class. Okay, during the that problem. Okay, this is a virtual function. Okay, so this is for today. Thank you so much, guys.